Chapter 3. The Fullness of the Time. When the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his Son to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. Galatians chapter 4, verses 4 and 5. The Saviour's coming was foretold in Eden. When Adam and Eve first heard the promise, they looked for its speedy fulfillment. They joyfully welcomed their firstborn son, hoping that he might be the deliverer. But the fulfillment of the promise tarried. Those who first received it died without the sight. From the days of Enoch, the promise was repeated through patriarchs and prophets, keeping alive the hope of his appearing, and yet he came not. The prophecy of Daniel revealed the time of his advent, but not all rightly interpreted the message. Century after century passed away. The voices of the prophets ceased. The hand of the oppressor was heavy upon Israel, and many were ready to exclaim, "The days are prolonged, and every vision faileth." Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 22. But like the stars in the vast circuit of their appointed path, God's purposes know no haste and no delay. Through the symbols of the great darkness and the smoking furnace, God had revealed to Abraham the bondage of Israel in Egypt, and had declared that the time of their sojourning should be 400 years. Afterward, he said, shall they come out with great substance. Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. Against that word, all the power of Pharaoh's proud empire battled in vain. On the self-same day, appointed in the divine promise, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. Exodus chapter 12, verse 41. So in heaven's council, the hour for the coming of Christ had been determined. When the great clock of time pointed to that hour, Jesus was born in Bethlehem. When the fulfillment of the time was come, God sent forth his Son. Providence had directed the movement of nations and the tide of human impulse and influence until the world was ripe for the coming of the deliverer. The nations were united under one government. One language was widely spoken and was everywhere recognized as the language of literature. From all the lands, the Jews of the dispersion gathered to Jerusalem to the annual feasts. As these returned to the places of their sojourn, they could spread throughout the world the tidings of the Messiah's coming. At this time, the systems of heathenism were losing their hold upon the people. Men were weary of pageant and fable. They longed for a religion that could satisfy the heart. While the light of the truth seemed to have departed from among men, there were souls who were looking for light and who were filled with perplexity and sorrow. They were thirsting for a knowledge of the living God, for some assurance of a life beyond the grave.